Male celebrities come out to defend Diddy, they're not defending Diddy per se. They're defending the character and the things that Diddy did. They don't see no issue with it. And that speaks true to their character. Let's talk about it.
Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on.
What's going on, you all? If it's not DJ Envy, if it's not Charlamagne trying to find a way, if it's not Busta Rhymes, we have seen men come out and defend Diddy against a lot of the things that we have seen and heard in the lawsuits. And you know what? It is telling. Like, it is telling. And I'm going to tell you why it is, because the reasons why men are coming out to defend Diddy is because they've been around these things and they saw that this is a part of the culture that is in the industry. They have been doing it for so long and been around it for so long that they don't see any issues with it. Like, they don't personally see any issues with it. So now they're confused. It was shown to us when Boosie came out and defended Diddy and saying that what's wrong with flying girls out? Like, you gonna go to jail for flying folks out? And it's just like, is that all you saw? Just because you flew somebody out does not mean that they're supposed to give you anything. Like, and if you are like, girl, the things that y'all are doing is like illegal. But they're not defending Diddy again because they care about Diddy and they don't want to see a quote unquote black man being torn down. They don't want to see a man like them be punished for what they believe in. That's what the issue is. I'm going to say this. The reason why celebrities like Busta Rhymes and everybody else have been coming out defending Diddy is because they have probably been around these things. They have been around. These folks have been in the industry 20 years. They have seen some stuff. They have seen some stuff, and that was the culture. When we talk about like the culture, like rap culture and stuff, like our culture, grape culture is embedded in rap culture. Like, it is embedded in that. And we've seen it like bust its head recently, like it show its ugly head recently. And now these men who are older are seeing men being reprimanded for it. And now they thinking about the stuff they have done wrong. They are seeing them being held accountable for stuff they have done in their past, probably. Like, that's all. It's not about Diddy. The defense isn't about Diddy at all. It's about they more than likely have been in situations, have seen things, or either participated in these things, and they don't have an issue with it. They don't understand it. Same way with R. Kelly saying, well, like, what y'all coming from me stuff I did 20, 30 years ago. It's like, yeah, but it was wrong. Doesn't matter how long ago, it was wrong. You harmed folks in the process, then come to find out, not only were you harming like black girls, you were hurting black girls who were your seed. Your daughter has talked about you violating her as well. So it's just like, you're something is not right. Something is not right, and you're in a position of power to be able to pay folks to do things that, keep them quiet. Like, they're okay with it. When we talk about like the things that happened with R. Kelly and how these folks, they were seeing this stuff. We saw it. Like, the security guards, everybody were participating and being there when these things were happening and didn't say anything. They didn't say anything because they didn't have no issue with it. Like, they're sleeping perfectly sound at night. The only reason why they're not sleeping now is because they can be implicated. And it's getting to the point now, like, they're coming and busting, like, the doors down, defending Diddy in this. Like, now y'all want to make it a black man issue. Like, now y'all want to say that, oh, this is like to see a black man. Like, you see black men go in interviews and on a podcast and talk about, they ain't do such and such like that. Girl, the dude from Abercrombie and Fitch right now is about to be about to be in the slammer for stuff that he did in 2003, 2008, like from 2000 to 2015. Like, I don't understand. Anytime you hear someone say, well, white folks do it and they get away with it, it's like, okay, are we modeling our what's the name based off of white folks, and we've seen what they have done to Native Americans? Like, this is your base. This is your base. Like, are you serious? I'm not trying to be like them at all. I know I know what they got going on. So to say that as if you want to be like these white men, you want to be like these white men, You want to harm folks and get away with it because you are in position of power. Every time these men say that, like every time these men say, well, they want to be able to get away with doing harm, not to other black men, but to women as well. That's what it's breaking down to. Because how many stories have we seen? How many docuseries have we seen? How many articles have we seen of the wives of these male rappers and artists being mentally, verbally, and physically abusive? Like Michelle A. Like her experience with Dr. Dre. Like, what's going on? And he's still being given awards and stuff. The stuff ain't stopped. If y'all saw these men doing these things while y'all were coming up, y'all should have stopped them and not been around them. But y'all didn't have no issue with it. Because maybe you were doing the same thing too. Maybe y'all, like, if y'all don't have a moral compass to see the wrong and stuff that was happening, I don't want to hear your music. I don't care how talented you are. If you don't see the harming of little girls and like folks like who cannot consent, like if you're knowing these things and you still surrounding yourself, like I have questions for you too. Like to find out now that what's being reported is that the baby oil was laced with drugs. Like, what is going on? There was an interview where someone said that how they get the girls and stuff is that they don't put drops and stuff in the drinks. They put it in the mixer, the cranberry juice, the pineapple juice, because you're going to have that with your liquor, the chaser. So they're drugging that and then they're consuming it and it happens. Like they're intoxicated. They can't consent. But we see men all the time reveal how they feel about consent all the time. Like I've dealt with it with gay men, like not understanding what consent means and that consent is forever changing. Like just because I consented at 2:00 doesn't mean I can't consent at 2:15. If I tell you no 3-4 times and the 5th time I say yes, did I really say no to you? You kept asking me until I gave you the answer that you wanted. It never was about me. It was always in servitude to you and your pleasure. So are you considerate of me and my body? Like they don't understand that. You hear it, like it will slip out. Like you will hear it all the time. And just pay attention. Like DJ Envy was doing an interview and talking about the stuff with Diddy, making it seem as though all these things have been made up and like exaggerated. It's like, did you not see the video? So when men say, where's the evidence? Where's the evidence? They don't care about the evidence. They don't care about, you hear men say, well, where's the evidence when somebody's being called out for, doing something inappropriate or doing something? Where's the evidence? Where's the evidence? And it's like, we're seeing evidence now, like a video. They're going to find a way because they don't want to believe it, point blank, period. So that's why I'm not interested in, oh, where's the evidence or whatever. Like, yeah, girl, if we believe the victim, we'll get to it. Like, we got to believe it. Like, y'all be seeing stuff like this. So how are you telling me that you want evidence and then your partner, like, you know how your partner is. You know how your partner is talking about, like, getting some girls some drinks and stuff to make them feel some type of way. You know what y'all partners be on. Y'all have heard, like, I'm not even around them in a heterosexual men, and I've heard stories and things just by sitting and listening. That's why I don't even like going to the barbershop. That's why I love the barbershop I go to now. It's not a place where I can hear ignorant men speak because they talk like this. So y'all around this, like, y'all don't even have a percentage of the wealth that these men have, but y'all want the most power that they wield to be able to do these things because a lot of y'all are already doing these things now. Y'all lying. I just saw a TikTok where a man was lying about dating women. He said that he will make it seem as though he was interested in dating them and being with them because he said was better. He said it's better when they care, when they want to be. So they change how they feel and stuff and manipulate women to get that.
You can't trust them. You can't trust them. You can't trust them.
You can't trust them. You can't trust them. You just can't trust them. But all of that is in itself a part of great culture. Like all of it is inherently that. The manipulation, the tactics and stuff to get someone in the bedroom and all the other stuff is like not being honest about what you really want, deceiving and answering questions in a certain type of way and saying certain things because your goal at the end of the day is to get pleasure. Like, you don't care about the partner at all. Knowing this and listening to men like Charlamagne and DJ Envy, and even a 50 Cent who has been clowning Diddy for the longest, like been clowning him. He doesn't care about what the things that Diddy does. Y'all be kicking it with Dr. Dre in a minute. We've heard Dr. Dre's ex-wife and stuff. Like, we heard about his allegations and stuff, and it's not, no conversation about that. Like, y'all don't have no problem partying and kicking up with him. Like, love Kendrick down, but it's like, if you care and so much about Drake and these things, then you need to be looking inside your own party too, because some of the folks that you've been around, they ain't too right themselves. So it's just like, do y'all really care? But that's why we talk about how people's politics sway depending on who it is. That's why we talk about that, because you don't have an issue with this person doing that because of quote unquote representation. See where I'm going? I'm going somewhere else. Going somewhere else. Like, you don't have an issue with it when it's somebody who's fitting your like identity politic like obsession. You don't have any issue with that. Like, oh, taking a black man down, or the first, what's the name? Like, it's just, yeah, but they're harmful, but it doesn't matter because we need representation. I need for people to be in these positions, and they know that. They know that they can survive off of just that. Like, you see Mayor Adams in New York get around a whole bunch of like elders in the church and stuff because they love seeing a black male figure in a position of power because they've seen white men be able to do it. And it's just like, they don't care about the black folks who were harmed, the black folks who had to deal with the heavy policing with Mayor Adams and all the other things that he has done, all the corruption and stuff that's going on to black. They don't even know these black folks, but black folks are being harmed in the process. But it's like, oh, as long as we have a black person as a figurehead, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, that's why we get confused on conversations even about Obama and saying that the worst thing he did during his presidency was wear a tan suit. But you look at Obama's record when it comes to drone strikes, like, he has the highest out of all of his other predecessors. Like, come on now. Like, we have to be honest. We can't get caught up in this. We can't get caught up in representation and seeing a black person at the forefront of whatever institution and stuff and feeling like, you know what, we've made it. What does it mean when their institution is on the bones and the backs of black folks who are being harmed in the process? What does it mean for that? To see Diddy being successful and all these things, and he has left so many bodies behind him. Like, not nobody's like, oh, such and such did this and pissed off, we got to fight. Bodies of like folks who are still alive, like black bodies who have been violated. We saw the video of Cassie. We saw that. And that's how I know, as much as y'all be chasing light-skinned biracial women, I know that y'all ultimately do not even care about women being safe, period, because y'all desire to keep light-skinned biracial women in y'all love lives and stuff. Y'all obsession with them, even when they're being harmed, y'all still don't see the wrong in it. Y'all still don't, because y'all don't see them as women either. Even when y'all are married to them 10 plus years, y'all still don't see them as your equal. You see them as some kind of pet project. You see them as the desire that comes with it, boost your image. It's all about you at the end of the day. That's how I know we're cooked. That's how I know men are cooked. That's how I know like men are cooked, because you will see somebody like a Cassie, and you know how they we've seen the music videos. We've seen how they talk about light-skinned biracial women. We've seen the music videos. We know how they feel about them. And to see someone like a Cassie be harmed by Diddy and they still don't, what does that tell you? What does that tell you? And that goes for like women who benefit from desire like a Cassie. Like, unfortunately, like, you will still be harmed and thrown away in the process. Not coming down on Cassie, because Cassie was a victim. She was very, very young, a very young age when she got introduced to Diddy. But it's just your desire, it's going to keep you away from some stuff. But just because you getting picked don't mean you being kept. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, yeah, you feel like your desire will shield you. Same way them podcast girls in Atlanta was like, well, I ain't clapped. I don't look bad. I ain't ugly. Like, These men are dragging black women in y'all face. They're dragging black women in y'all face. And you're saying because you ain't ugly and you ain't clapped that. So how y'all sitting here talking about, like, I thought we was all black women, like, so we pick and choose who matters and who doesn't. Because ain't nobody coming on my anything trashy talking no black woman, no matter what she looks like. Period. No matter if she's desirable or not desirable. Like, what? So yeah, like, this is a reminder again that these men are not necessarily defending Diddy because they care about him and his status and all the other stuff. They're essentially defending themselves and their behavior and their wants. They're not defending Diddy. They're defending their wants and their needs and their desires to be like a Diddy and continuously do the things that Diddy was doing. Like, that's what they want. Now, when it comes to Quincy Brown and the family and the kids, I feel for them, to be honest. Like, Quincy Brown and Diddy's kids released a statement on Instagram. And you know what? Like, let's read it. We have seen so many hurtful and false rumors circulating about our parents, Kim Porter and Sean Combs' relationship, as well as about our mom's tragic passing, that we feel the need to speak out. Claims that our mom wrote a book are simply untrue. She did not. And anyone claiming to have a manuscript is misrepresenting themselves. Additionally, please understand that any so-called friend speaking on behalf of our mom or her family is not a friend, nor do they have her best interests at heart. Our lives were shattered when we lost our mother. She was our world, and nothing has been the same since she passed. While it has been incredibly difficult to reconcile how she could be taken from us too soon, the cause of her death has long been established. There was no foul play. Grief is a lifelong process, and we ask that everyone respect our request for peace as we continue to cope with her loss every day. We're deeply saddened that the world has made a spectacle of what has been the most tragic event of our lives. Our mother should be remembered for the beautiful, strong, kind, and loving woman she was. Her memory should not be tainted by horrific conspiracy theories. We ask that everyone please respect our mother, Kim Porter, and hold her legacy in high regard so that she may rest in peace. It's what she deserves. We love you and miss you, Mommy. Quincy, Christian, Jesse, and Dalila. I'm hoping I'm saying her name right.
These kids have every right to come out and say, hey, like, the things that y'all have been seeing about this book and everything, it's not accurate, it's not true, da da da. I hate that they have to come on a platform and discuss these things. Like, you never get over grief. Like, it's forever in your mind. Like, you're always like going to be dealing with it. You just learn to live with it. So I hate that they had to come out and to discuss this. Now, again, I don't feel like the kids need to be, quote unquote, reprimanded for like supporting their father or whatever, because there's no telling what Diddy has said and how he has manipulated the situation, because we have to remember that Diddy is an abuser, period. We do not know how and what he has said to manipulate the situation and make it seem like that these folks are after him. And they have grown up in a place of privilege and all these things. So none of these things are shocking. But to me, again and again, there's no way I would have saw that footage of like Cassie being treated that way and not thought something. But we're not expecting these kids to come out and to like go at it and say anything negative about their father. But they posted a picture supporting him back in September 24th, and was just like, we're standing by him and all this stuff. And I'm just like, like, it's a mess. Like, I'd rather for them not to say anything, but I would not be surprised if Diddy's lawyers or whatever are telling them to say something, because Diddy has been using his family and stuff to shield him from critique. He's used Kim Porter's passing as a shield in the past from his things, like he was trying to shift his brand and his image to Daddy Love or B Love, whatever his name is this week. Like, he's using that, and he's using these kids to play up sympathy. And unfortunately, these kids are falling into that. So that's what's going on. Like, y'all, like, this whole situation is a mess. This trailer that Quincy posted about his new show or about them and their whatever they're doing on their spare time, like vacation and stuff, it's just, the timing of it just is not right. Like, the timing of it is just not right for this moment. And I feel like they had to release a statement and say something, because now they're posting this trailer, it's going to look funny. People are going to be looking at them sideways. But like I've said, if this is anything, is to show that there's some funds and stuff missing. Like, they are not as coined up anymore because their father has lost so much money because of this trial, because of all of these things. And now their social capital is not as high. So they can't, sell stuff and do stuff like they usually do and make money from their visibility because no brands are paying them for any of these access, like none of their access and stuff. So the whole situation is a mess. And Diddy brought this upon his family. Like, when we think about the people that Diddy has harmed, we also have to think about the family that he has done this to. And to see all these celebrities try to defend him, like Diddy know what he was doing for years, and he didn't have any remorse until he got caught. Like, he had plenty time to go to church and get his soul right and do some yoga. And he chose till this video and stuff came out to be honest about what type of person he is when he was defending it. I just, honestly, at the end of the day, I can't see myself seeing something like that and then coming out and offering any type of statement to my father. But I don't have a rich dad and grew up in a rich family and with a manipulative father, so I don't know. But those are my thoughts.
This whole situation is just like a mess. The trial is supposed to go forward next year. I am not interested in it, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be a lot on social media when it does come. But yeah, it seems like it's something every week and every day. But I thought this trailer was interesting. I also think that seeing all these men come out and defend Diddy was a lot. So I just wanted to offer my thoughts. Tell me what you think. Let me know in the comments, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.